like I ain't even started yet. And I got a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It must be Jesus. That little talk I had on that short video. Woo! Thank you, Jesus, for the one like there. How y'all doing out there? Got my suspenders. I was going to wear a dress shirt today, but 26 degrees outside. I started doing these rims from last night when y'all was here. I guess I'll turn it that way a little bit. Get those out of there. Alright. Ooh, a little chip there. But they'll cut that off when I get done. This one turned out good. Had a little bit of a chip there, but they take about that much off anyway, so that chip will pass. It'd have to be bigger than a half inch before it wouldn't work. I'm gonna like it too, man. I can't believe somebody uh, created a like on there before the show started. That's cool. So, oh yeah, I got to do all the Facebook. That's what I was getting ready to do. I got to do all the Facebook groups. Hold on, y'all. Daggone, I knew I was missing something, and that's there what it was. I got to share it. Let's share it to every group there is. I wish I could just click on them. There goes one to the Banjo Hangout. This one goes to Clawhammer Rules. This one goes to the Banjo Hub. Hubba. This one goes to Bluegrass Hangout. It goes to the Banjo. Oops, shared it to the public. Didn't mean to do that. This one goes to the Australian Banjo Group. I like Australians. They play banjo. That's pretty cool, man. I got 2 Australian groups on here. My friend Leon, man, he's from Australia. He owns the banjo company over there. Big shout out to Leon. We get down to him. Banjo Builders. Hope I didn't do that one twice. Banjo Forum. Banjos with 4, 5, 6 strings. What about the 3-string banjos? You left those out. And New Zealand is where my friend Leon's from, I think. The New Zealand Banjo Group. An indigenous banjo player. One of my favorites of all time was an American indigenous Cherokee Indian named Raymond. Was it Raymond? No, Raymond Fairchild. Raymond Fairchild. Man, that guy was. He got Grammys and everything. Full-blooded Cherokee Indian. All right. So we are here and we are live. It's a Friday, so I'm not expecting a lot of people. All right. So So, like I was saying before, I forgot to do the Facebook groups. Man, I'm tired. I've been poked by doctors all day yesterday, taking so much blood from me. I feel weak. Uh, the little chip right there ain't gonna matter because they're gonna cut off about a half inch anyway. But I will warn them when I mark it on the outside of the rim. And let's get this next one out of here. Yeah, we go right here, folks. Right here we go. Another good one here. Got a little bit of a nick there. That'll come out. Hey, yeah. Give me the adjuster. Adjust a little bit there. Knock it loose here. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, no. There you go. Oh, no. There you go. Hope everybody's. I know a lot of people watch these things later on. Please follow the links in the description for going to our Etsy store. We now have hats, and I'll be ordering one soon to show y'all. This one came out fantastic, man. I mean, you don't even really need to sand that just to get the glue a little rough. Woo! That's a good one. Oh, yeah, baby. I like my rims when they're round. I make wooden rims all day. And I like it when they come out okay. What a beautiful morning, although it's 26 degrees. I have been poked and prodded and tested, and I is okay. And that was really nice, man. I mean, they come out good. Hey, thank you. I don't know how to pronounce that name. PNS, but yeah, we make rims and we make everything here. Actually, we don't make a complete product. We're if you can hear me, I don't know if you might hear me. It's a new mic. Duke, oh, you can hear me. Yeah, Duke. We make circles. But hey, man, don't forget to subscribe. I just live stream this about every day, man. What everything I do. Yeah, sometimes I feel like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Got my own science experimental place back in here. I like the shop. It's very small, though. Prison workshops are bigger than this. Not that I would know. But it's a nice to work here. Just wish we made money. Ain't nobody at Banjos, man. I think I make 14 cents an hour. Let me see if I can get this one out of here. Yeah, today we're testing out the old wireless mic on the hat trick. We got the mic sitting up here because when I put it down here, It sounds real muffled, so we're seeing if it sounds better up here. Yeah, it's not easy making wood circles, man. It's not easy making them right. That's the problem. So you can't have any gaps. These have no gaps. Bubbles, yeah. But yeah, all these go to the Sullivan Banjo Company in Alabama. You can buy them from him. I don't sell them. I mean, I sell them to him, but I don't sell anything online. We're trying to make a banjo neck, and we'll make our own version of a bolt together banjo. But everything like this goes to Sullivan Banjo Company, and if y'all need any, you can look his website up. He makes them for other companies, and he can turn them to whatever you want on lace. And he can even give them to you raw, whatever you want, man. He's got them in every stage if you need any. That's what I do. I like making rims. Oh, yeah. This one has to be pulled back. These red jacks suck. They don't have spring pushbacks on. Man, I'm tired. I have been through tons of medical tests to find out there's nothing wrong with me. Gee. What they do every year. Yeah, that's a beautiful ring there, man. Got a slight little thing right here, but that'll come out when they cut it. But that's beautiful. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and push some of these out. See if y'all can see. Yeah, I'll push y'all down a little bit there. Yeah, that's my stuff on their website, the rims. But I'm in Kentucky and he's in Alabama. And I'm up here because I take care of my mom. These don't warp, man. I don't know what he does in Alabama. But what he does in Alabama is he stores them for a year. Okay, since you ain't been here, let me explain. When I first started making rims years ago, I found out that they warp. They get on lace, and they got potential energy into them. So when you start cutting on them, they'll twist, or they'll be in shipping and they'll twist or something. So what I did was I figured out a way to make all my circles to where they stay circled. They don't come apart. They don't. There's no potential energy. So when they're all glued together and you put them on a lathe, they don't twist. They don't come apart, twist like other rims do. That was the whole goal of making this company, was because Eric was so mad at other rim makers, because it's a pain in the butt for all banjo makers. Because you got to let it sit on a lathe overnight, and that ties up your lathe, or you got to take it off the lathe and do it in steps. Way more time consuming. So when I found out what was going on, I was put my little engineering mind to it with all my education, and I found out a way to keep that energy out of the rim so that it wants to stay in a circle, and it's all glues up nice and politely. So they stay in a circle. Now you got to remember though, humidity does have a lot to do with that, man. Um, Humidity, you could take any circle out in the rain, it's going to get messed up. Also, extreme heat, like if you keep it in the trunk of your car. But Sullivan Banjo Company, I don't know. You would contact them, and they would let you know how they do their stuff. But I've never had a complaint from anybody that uses them, and we've sold a couple thousand of them. So if there is a warping in shipping, I'm not aware of it, man. But that was my whole goal when I started making these, was to prevent that exact thing, because I understand what potential energy is. It's a spring, a wound spring. You don't want a wound spring in wood. You want it nice, and you want it to last for decades without coming apart. And to do that, you got to do that, man. And that's hard to do. But you'll see me steam bend if you hang out for an hour or two. This show goes on for like 4 hours. But you'll see me, I'll steam bend, and we'll get over here in a little while after I pull some of this apart, man. If I'm not mistaken, when Eric ships his rims, I think he uses some kind of a core or something that goes on top of the package, because I've actually sold him little thin rims for shipping, so I know he uses them for shipping and something. But he lives in Alabama and I'm in Kentucky. Yeah, I was at one time. I was going to sell these things over the internet, but before I can get them made, he buys them. Everything I got. And I always crack them like this after I get them out of a press. I hit glue right there. I want to make sure there's no cracks or stuff, because if you find one with a crack, it'll sound like this. But if it sounds like this, it sounds like a tone. It's got a wooden tone to it. I'd say that's almost a G or an A. Might be a G. Anyway, that's how I finally test them before I put my name on them. Once they've been tested in my shop and they ring, if they don't ring, I cut them in half, dude. I take them to the saw and I go, I've had people come over like, no! I'm like, yes. None of that junk goes out of my shop, man. So today is this today the 4th? Today be the 5th. So it's 1/5/24. My name, soft maple, and from Tennessee. All this wood here comes from a sawmill in Tennessee, up in the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains. Yeah, so I put my name, the type of wood. Of course, the camera's reversed, so it's my name, soft maple from Tennessee. And then it goes on this stack back here. And that stack will get shipped out when I make 14. I got to make a bunch of reso walls, and they put these inside the same box because they're smaller. So those will be on hold for shipping until I can get all the resos I'm making ready, so they don't have to pay double shipping. And man, I like this room. So we take this out, we put that there, take this out of here, put this over here. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, ring the bell. If I don't think we got a bell, but if you see a bell, ring it. Sometimes you got to push this thing up because the spring is getting worn out. Oh, come on. None of that goes out. Well, sometimes you got to start off with just a wood block. Get it pressed down a little bit. And whatever that was not supposed to fall out of there. I hate it when things fall off my equipment. They're supposed to be falling off. Stay in there, little pin. Yeah, there you go. And you guys are freaking embarrassing me here on live TV. So get that shit out. All right, here we go. So sometimes you can't get that wedge under there, so we do this. We push it down just a little bit. Ooh, that was a tough one. Bring it back up. Gets right under there. Look to see why was this so tough, because it's not supposed to be tough. It is an art form. Let's try this again without the toughness here. Oh yeah, making the rims. Yeah, there you go. Got a little crooked, what we used to call cockeyed. Hey, thanks for ringing the bell. I didn't know if there was one. I see it on everybody else's live stream. They go, ring the bell. Man, I got like they took blood out this arm, stuck a thing up under that arm. Got a hole under one of my arms now. Doctors, I think they just like to poke people. He's like, poke you. Hey, we need to fill up this pint jar of blood here. Well, we need another pint over here. Oh, well, they actually took one too much, so we're going to take another one. Here we go. Let's see. This is 1, 5, 24. The election year. The year everything goes nuts on TV. My name, soft maple. These are soft maple rims. We make all kinds of rims. We make them out of walnut, cherry. So, there you go, man. 14 of these rims. All paid for, being shipped. Looks like a Jenga tower over here. Better straighten this up. All right, there you go. 14 of those. Now get this out of here because this leaks oil. Put this over here. And put these back in there. Everything in this freaking place weighs 1,000,000 pounds. All right, now I guess we're about ready to steam bin. Hey, Paul! The hardest woods to work with? I would think the hardest woods to work with, to me, it's more the way they dry it. So, soft maple dried in a kiln will not bend. Soft maple cut straight from a sawmill and they hand it to me right from the tree it been cut down. That stuff bends like butter. Black walnuts the same way, man. You get that stuff fresh, but if you get it kiln dried, it just, to me, it's more like how they dry it more than what type of wood it is. So if I'm going to bend something in a circle, I want it as green as possible. And then I want it sitting on my lot for half a year before I slice it up and turn it into steam bent wood. I would guess mahogany's always been the pain in my butt, man. Every time I try to make something out of mahogany, it is the hardest. It's supposed to be the easiest to bend, but to me, it's the hardest. And I think that's because most of the mahogany left in America is old stock because they can't get any new stock. So if I ever got a hold of any new mahogany, I would change my mind maybe. But right now, it's the mahogany has always given me problems. Mahogany and anything that's kiln dried, and anything that's really old. Like I make these old factory floor rims for Sullivan Banjo Company, and the wood's 400 years old. And man, it's a pain in the butt. It even eats up my saw blades. I have to charge him $100 for one of those rims just to make one because it destroys my bandsaw blades. No other wood does that, man. It just eats them up. It's like it's made out of diamonds or something. Yeah, green wood is the best for bending. But still keep in mind, man, it's all also in how you make these circles. You don't ever want to force them together because it don't matter what kind of wood you're using. If you force them, as soon as you put them on a lathe, they're going to go print. So the wood has to go together naturally. It has to just fit. And if anything, you might want some pressure coming in, but you don't ever want to have to push it in to make it glue right. So we got all those out of the way. Now we got to start steam bending. So let me move you guys over here to where the next place is going to be. All right. I hope y'all like the mic hat microphone. That's what that is right there. Seems to be working pretty darn good. But I can't hear it. You guys, I'll have to trust you guys to tell me whether or not uh, it's working right. And I can slide like this. I can see you guys. Yeah, anytime you got questions, if I don't answer them right away, it's because I can't see the screen. I have to walk over there sometimes. I can tell you one thing: don't try to do it for a living. Ain't no money in it, man. It's fun, but there ain't no money in it. All right, this here is the Great American Steam Bending Machine. I'll let y'all. The illustrious torpedo tube. I invented that thing a few years back, and I really like it. It's a steam bending machine. If you know what I mean, baby. Let's put some water in it. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yeah, I think you guys can. All right. Can you see now? No, I have to move you guys out this way just a bit. You guys are on the planer stand. Yeah, the torpedo steamer. Solely responsible for the defeat of the Nazis in World War II. The torpedo steamer. Yeah, I like my torpedo steam machine, man. It's pretty cool. It's very dangerous, so don't do what I do. This thing right here, if this is hot, when you pour water in it, it can explode like a stick of dynamite, man. So don't ever do this at home. Never do what I do. Steam can kill you, blind you, scald you, turn you right into a steamed vegetable like you was in a Japanese wok or something. So don't do this at home or at work or wherever, unless you're a professional. And I'm not a professional, so don't follow what I do. That's my disclaimer. I'm disclaiming so I don't get responsibility. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm filling it full of water right now, is what I'm doing. And it's right there, right at the top. So then you plug it in without trying to get electrocuted to death because you just filled it full of water, and water is everywhere. Yeah. So Now the torpedo tube has been charged with steam water, or maybe the propellant has been added to the steam machine. Yeah. Now we shall load the machine. I'll back you guys back up, see if you can get a little bit better view. These are soaking tubes over here, and they're positioned straight up and down for a reason. If you look up wood, wood has a xylem and a phloem, whatever. I can't remember how you pronounce it. Got little tubes that go this way, little tubes that go this way. These are organic valves. So you got water tubes that are, let's say, oh, let's just do it like this. You got a tube that goes this way, and it has organic valves in it. So when the water heats up, it expands and it forces the water up. And if the water tries to fall back down, these valves close up. Well, on the inside of the tree, you have the opposite. You have valves that go this way. And so the water can flow down through these valves, but if it tries to go back up, they're blocked. So that's how a tree pumps water. A tree pumps water from sunshine hitting it, expanding, heating up the water. Water can't go down, so the water gets forced up and out through the leaves and does its chloroform process or chlorophyll process, chloroform. Then it comes back down through the center of the tree where it's cold and contracts and falls back down to the roots. And it does its thing, man. So when you're soaking wood, we soak it straight up and down, and then we flip it every couple days. And that's why you do that. As G.I. Joe would say, knowing is half the battle. Oh, that's how you defeat Krober anyway. I don't know if you defeat anything else. As that saying go, the object of war is not to die for your country, but make that, I can't say that on the internet, other person die for his country. Wasn't that George Patton? Yeah, I think it was George Patton. What an angry soul. He was definitely a pissed off dude. Kind of like Sherman of the Northern Army of America. General Sherman. March to the sea. Burn everything you can. Ooh. Scorched earth policy. Here we go. All right, we wear gloves because that stuff is nasty, man. 5 likes. Thank you guys very much. Y'all are pouring on the likes. I like that. Yeah, no pun intended. Okay, so uh now we kind of wait. What can we do while we wait? I would tell jokes, but I'm not very good at joke telling. Let's see here. There must be other things to do. We can't turn on the dust collector system. I wish I was a school teacher. They wouldn't let me teach schools, man. I wouldn't take no crap for them kids. I swear, man, I'd reinvent spankings. I would, man. I think it's the biggest problem in our school. I think far more people were harmed from not spanking than are harmed from spanking. I think they need to do more research, dive a little deeper in there, man. Yeah, the more you know, the further you go. This is some of that glue we use, man. It's a form of high glue. It's so tough it sticks to the concrete. All right, folks. So let's see what we got going here. This fan up off the floor, man. What's this fan doing on the floor? Uh, man, I got the hiccups today. Get the fan off the floor. And we got to put some more tubes down here. Yes, steam is a very dangerous thing, man. I think the biggest thing about steam is people don't realize that if something's hot and you put water on it, it rapidly expands. Very similar to dynamite. Very similar to dynamite. So that's why we have what's called boiler inspectors in America. Before you can make a boiler legally, uh, you have to have a person that comes and inspects it before you can finish it and turn it on. That's a serious thing in this country. Because back in the 20s, I smashed my finger. Daggone it. People died like that a lot. There's so many boilers around, steam engines and all that stuff, trains. And that made it all dangerous. And that's why we got all these boiler laws. But nowadays, there's not too many. Trying to read y'all's text. There you go. So there's not much education left in it. But if you got a superheated piece of metal or anything, and you pour water on it, steam comes off there as fast as a dynamite explosion. So that's where most people get hurt. The other part where they get hurt is the steam's got to go somewhere. So you might not even be too close, but that scalding hot steam come out and hit you in your face or something, you know? Yeah, man. That's the best way to learn English. And I tell you what, English in America is different depending on where you go. Yeah, all the heating tubes you see in those explosions are the heating tubes that go through it. They carry exhaust from the gas. And usually, when you see an explosion, a lot of times it was the front of the steam engine because the back has the firebox in it, right? And the firebox is the where it can accidentally superheat the metal above the firebox. So if they stop and the water sloshes and it comes back over that superheated metal because they didn't have enough water in there, then it blows the whole front of that steam locomotive out. And a lot of those were designed like that on purpose so that it wouldn't blow back onto the engineer. But that's usually when they blow up the old steam trains, it's from the firebox being superheated without any water on it. But you got a water gauge and you're supposed to keep the water up on there so it never gets superheated. But if you run low, and the water's not up there, and then you take off, and all of a sudden the water sloshes back on top of there. It's massive expansion of steam, blows the steam engine apart. I used to study steam engines when I was a kid, as you can tell. I'm nuts about the stuff. My grandfather Turner was a steam plant engineer. Used to take me to work with him. Oh yeah, we forgot to put in the temperature gauge. Standard. So this thing has to get up to 200 degrees for at least 20 minutes. Like it has to reach it and then stay there for 20 minutes, and that's what we're doing now. This is one of the pieces I picked out for making necks. We're gonna be making necks as soon as the temperature gets up. This is black walnut here, man. I love the smell of wood. This is one of the fretboards I've been picked out. Ooh, this is cherry. Cherry just smells so good. It's like cigar boxes. This is cherry, and we're gonna try to make a fretboard out of this for our first electric guitar. Gotta find a 2-foot piece that's not cut up, and I got a knot in it right there, like right up there. Yeah. Everybody comes in there, does that. First thing you do when you walk in there, like, I love that smell, because this whole place smells like a it's a wood factory. It smells like wood. The place smells like wood. So is this mic doing pretty good like this? Yesterday it was all mumbled because I had it down here. It's like I tell you something else that's pretty cool about a shop. You got to have one of these. This little thing right here will save you thousands of dollars in saw blades. It's a metal detector. And believe it or not, when you're cutting wood, cool. I appreciate that. When you're cutting the wood, man, there are bullets in this wood, man. Think about that, man. That tree's been up there a couple hundred years. Well, actually, soft maple is about 30 years. They grow it like crops. But somebody's up there deer hunting and they shoot around, it might come a mile away and land in one of these trees. And if you want to save all your saw blades, you run that thing across it real quick. We find them all the time, man. Or maybe a kid built a tree house and drove nails into the tree. So, like, you get this piece of wood and you don't see the nail, but it's in there. So we're always checking, making sure that we don't get pounded by a nail. I'm waiting for this thing to heat up, man. Come on, baby. There's more wood over there. Man, I want to sand so bad, but it's freaking 20 degrees outside. Yeah, that's what it is, man. It is definitely a TSA scanner, man. It's the exact same thing. Let's see. Oh, wow, it doesn't pick up my suspenders. I could swear those were metal. Picks up my cell phone. Picks up the rivets in my jeans, but it doesn't pick up my suspender. Let's see if it's a metal part right there. Oh, it's plastic. That's why I ain't picked it up. Isn't that cool? Oh no, it's a terrorist piece of wood. Woodhard Elvis. You got to remember to turn this off, though. It doesn't have an automatic sleep. But it does have, if you got lithium batteries, you can recharge that sucker. This is my other favorite thing. The laser heat gun sensor. So it says, let's see, it's 58 degrees on the window, 60 degrees. What's the heater? Heater is 79 degrees. Let's see what it is outside on a piece of metal. On a piece of metal. Ooh, 40 degrees. You know what? I'm going to go check on my mom while she's up there. Make sure she ate her lunch here real quick while we're waiting on the steam. Y'all can still hear me. I'm going to walk over here. Make sure she's okay. Got to check on her every few minutes. Oh, my knee hurts, but not that bad. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom. You all right? Okay, just checking on you. I'm just checking on you. I'll take this and throw it away for you. It's your garbage. It's my plate, and I'll bring it back over for your supper. Okay? Okay. All right, guys. Let me run this plate upstairs. I'll leave this pat down here. Second, I'll be right back. The banjo will hang out. All right. We start to smell the steam. Look at this thing here. A little bit. Oh my. Peripheral there. There you go, right there. All right, folks, waiting on the steam. steam bending machine over here to heat up, do its thing. Get y'all a better view. Hope everybody had a great holiday season, man. Mine was pretty good. I got to relax. I got me some iced tea here. Man, what a great day. It's just cold. We got to get rid of this cold weather, man. This is all the stuff I got to sand right here coming up because I can't turn on the dust machine. All this has to be sanded. All those have to be sanded. And maybe Monday we'll start trying to figure out a routine where we sand late in the afternoon so it's maybe 40 or 50 degrees. It wouldn't be too bad. Man, I swear they gave me a shot in this arm right here. It hurts. Some kind of tetanus thing. It's like when she stabbed me, it's like, ah! I was like, ah! All right, put this up here where it's plastic. Don't want it on anything that's metal. So, we got that going. Let's find something else we can do, folks, while that's all doing its thing. Let me look over here. What can we do? Some A's. We don't have no B's. Not much to do on a Friday around here, man. So, I guess we'll just wait for the steam machine. Get my bench here. I got this stool last year. It's pretty cool. It's the Grizzly stool. There you go. Grizzly. Yeah. The exciting world of steam bending. I'm half tempted to sand, but man, I just don't want to suck all that cold air in here. Man, it's tough thinking all this stuff out in your head. If I ever get to build like a factory, I'm going to have a heat exchangers so when you turn on the dust collection system, it heats the cold air coming in from maybe burning the scrap wood or solar heat. Have some sand batteries. That way you can turn on the dust collection system no matter anytime you want. That's the whole goal. But as it is, you have to plan it out. Because 800 cubic feet a minute, it'll empty the heat out of this building in a few minutes. So, damn, what is this thing popping up over here? Steam presses. When you say steam presses, are you talking about the little black hoses back here? Those are hydraulic presses. That's what you're asking about. This is the steam machine here. When it gets heated up enough temperature, you take one of these circles. You put it on here, and it wraps the wood around it. So that's the press, if that's what you're asking about. But as far as way back behind there, those black hoses are hydraulics. And don't ever mess with hydraulics. They're worse than steam, man. First of all, hydraulic pressure, fluid under pressure is highly explosive. Highly explosive. You ever wondered in those Vietnam films when they shoot a plane why the plane blows up, even though jet fuel's not explosive? It's because they hit a hydraulic line, and hydraulic lines are under pressure. They blow up like dynamite. So that's why those films you'll see an old fighter jet chase another fighter jet, and when they shoot it, it blows up. It's because it hits a hydraulic line most of the time, and that's something we learned in the Air Force and we trained about. So these black hoses will be under 1,500 pounds up to 10,000 pounds, but we don't do to 10,000 pounds. The air compressor runs the hydraulic pumps. The hydraulic pumps are not um, uh, they're not electric. They run off air. So you press the pedal, which should be on the floor, but I don't have enough money for hoses, and the air turns a pumps the hydraulic fluid into these black hoses. Now, because I don't have a lot of funds, what I would normally do is buy an electric hydraulic pump, put a pressure relief valve on it to where it stays at 1,500 pounds. It just runs, and then have a lever at each press that you can pull that would do it. Because I'm trained in hydraulics and pneumatics and stuff, and that would be the normal way. But I don't recommend anybody ever doing that stuff because it's very dangerous unless you've had training in it. I'll tell you why. A 1,500, 2,000 pound psi leak will be a pinhole, and you won't even see the fluid, but it's coming out at such high pressure that if you put your hand across it, it'll slice every finger off your hand like a razor blade, just right off your hand, gone. So don't be messing around with hydraulics. That's something I do because I know what I'm doing because I've trained in it. But those are all hydraulic presses back there, run by air compressors. But they're overkill because I don't have the funds to do it the right way. If I had the funds, I'd just have one pump. But the way I got it now, I have to have a pump for each press, and all that stuff is expensive, man. It's probably still not even paid for if you think about it in those terms. But yeah, that's the best way I found as a single person to make rims. But because I made them originally by hand, you'll see me making them by hand because people pay extra money for the handmade ones, even though you can't tell a difference. They'll pay more money for the ones with the C clamps than they pay for the hydraulic press ones. But there's no difference. I personally think the hydraulics are better, simply because hand making those things is a pain in the butt, man. It's like whoa, and they're heavy. When you put 20 C clamps on a frame for each one of those hoses, that's 24 C clamps, or 12 on each side, and it gets to be a 1,500 pound object, easy. So we're waiting and waiting and waiting. Let's see if I got any more messages here. Yep, just an air hose. You'll see me carrying the air hose to each press, each pump. I got all the little orange boxes are pumps. It's a shame there's not enough banjo sales in the United States or anywhere to keep this all going. What most people miss, most manufacturers miss is the teaching. They should have teaching sites for every banjo sales company or building company. They should have a teaching site that tells you how to play the banjo in all its forms, whether it's a 4 string or 5 string. Because without that, then what's the point of buying banjos, man? So it's kind of caving in on itself. We've had a major collapse in the industry due to something called Recording King. They come in and flooded the market with inexpensive banjos, and they don't promote bluegrass music. So all the funding for bluegrass music dried up. Here's an example. You used to go to a bluegrass festival, and on each side of the stage, you see these big banners. One would be like the Gibson Music Factory in Nashville's banner would be over here. They pay several tens of thousands or whatever for their ad. Over here would be like a Liberty Bank, and then below that would be the smaller community places at a festival that support the festival. But when Recording King comes in and decimates the market, Gibson shuts down. Um, and then Gibson no longer pays for any festival funding. And then all of a sudden, your festivals start to drop in quality, um, because not quality, but they drop in popularity because there's no longer any backing for those companies to advertise, to give away banjos, to promote the type of music it is. Um, and that's just kind of how it goes. It's not because it's not popular. The stuff is fantastic, man. You go up in the Smoky Mountains and up in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and all that. People love that stuff. I love it, and anybody that's exposed to it just thinks it's a blast because it beats the hell out of country music. Country music is like, oh, I'm whining, and bluegrass is like the heavy metal, speed metal of country music. That stuff rolls, man. Put on some Foggy Mountain, break down, do 80 miles an hour. Tell me you don't feel like Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah. Man, if I lived in Germany, I'd be putting on Foggy Mountain Breakdown, getting on the Autobahn. Heck yeah. We're at 150. Ow, my leg just cramped. Whew. Oh, man, I tell you, dude, it's not. I tell you something about it. Banjo playing goes up and down. Whenever there's a movie that comes out like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," man, that stuff skyrockets. The bluegrass, the old time folk music, because it never goes away. There's such a huge community that supports it. It never goes away. It's always going to be like this. Uh, I don't want to call it a cult. I want to call it more like a country club for people that like good music. It's a country club, so it's always there. But like I said, because of Recording King and stuff, it takes nosedives. But anytime there's a movie that comes out, like Cold Mountain, uh, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Bonnie and Clyde, Deliverance, the Beverly Hillbillies TV show, it skyrockets again. So it's kind of one of those things where if you love it, you just got to kind of hang in there. It also depends on the political climate. Like right now, we have a political climate that's like anti-white, and any kind of culture that deals with that is looked down and frowned upon illegally. That is actually racism when you do that. But we're dealing with that right now too. For example, in my neighborhood, if I put out a sign out in my front yard that I teach banjo lessons, which I have done before, it causes huge problems because of stereotype. Like all of a sudden, we're the bad guys for some reason. Never hated anybody in my life. But yeah, man, who knows? Maybe 2024 will turn around and we'll just get rid of all these criminals up there that have embedded themselves into the political system. You never know. If they could stop the illegal imports of all these Chinese goods, or not, maybe they're not illegal, but if they could stop giving them the advantage of importing those banjos and other things, we could start getting our businesses back. But without the businesses, nobody supports the festivals. And then when that dries up, the only people are political people because they got the funds from the taxes. They'll stick their fingers into the festivals, and if you're not this certain way, then you can't play music here. Whereas bluegrass was like, if you guys can jam, get up on stage. They don't care what you think as long as you ain't hurting nobody. I hate to rant because I'm waiting on the steam machine, but I'll probably get in trouble. YouTube will ban me now because I said some political stuff. Yeah, but don't stop, man. Yeah, I've seen that too. But here's the thing with Mexican goods. Mexican goods are all right. But the reason they stopped using Mexican goods and went to China is because the Mexican population is waking up. They're like, man, I'm not going to build your crap for $2 an hour. You're going to pay me just like you pay an American. So they're trying to get back to Mexico, but Mexicans aren't stupid. They're like, and they're not communists, uh, so they don't have to work in a factory. Um, so the big producers of everything are found out. That's why they went to China, because the Mexicans are like, yeah, you pay you. I can go 50 miles this way across the border and do the same job for $50 an hour, and you want to pay me 3 pesos? No, I don't think so. So that's why they went to China, because China's like, they own they own all the companies. They can do what they want. They're the political company. There's no individuals owning all that stuff. So I know I'll get banned for saying all this, but it just irks me, man. I'm like you guys. I love building stuff. I want to sell stuff. I sell to a company in Alabama, and that company down there should be making 1,000 banjos a year, but they're not, because of Recording King and the decimation of the economy, and things that give us freedom and happiness. You notice they never attack something like they never like attack like sewer workers or things where like they need their services. They only attack the good fun stuff like entertainers, and then they try to force entertainers into being things like, yeah, you got to dress in a bikini and nail yourself to a cross or some stupid crap. Instead of being Pink Floyd, you should be Pink Floyd. You should write your own stuff and become good at that, and tell politicians to kiss your butt, man. Sorry, I'm ranting. I hate politicians. I think they're all nuts. We're getting close, folks. 160 degrees. We're waiting for 40 more degrees. Yeah, I better change to another subject, man. I'll probably get banned from YouTube. Yeah, let's talk about the sunshine. We need some sunshine out here. I always thought it'd be cool one day to see if you could build a town like take an old coal mine in town in Kentucky and buy it up, and then illegalize any foreign products. Like all your food has to come locally, all your clothing has to come from local sources, and kind of ease your way into it. Give them like a 5 year period. Like first you can assemble it here, and then the next phase is you have to make the whole thing here, or buy it from an American company. Like your cotton to make your blue jeans has to come from an American cotton field. Your cloth has to be woven in a textile company in America. I think it'd be cool to see if a whole town could survive as an experiment with only American-made products. We used to. There wasn't a foreign thing in this whole area over here, except for maybe Japanese radios when I was a kid, and that was about the only thing I could think of came out in a car was that wasn't an American-made product was the radios. Yeah, I'd like to see that one day. I remember the big festivals. Oh man, I used to play for a band called the Kentucky Ramblers, uh, and we used to open up for Larry Sparks and Ralph Stanley and Bill Monroe. That was our gig every weekend somewhere in America. We were playing one of those 3 days opening for them, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, for 3 years. And Gary went on to do it years after that. And man, I seen festivals that were just blow your mind. It was incredible. I went to this one in Ohio County. I think it was a 5 day festival, and it was huge. That's where places like Telluride came from. A lot of people don't know what happened back in the '60s. There was a lot of outdoor concerts, rock and roll. You know, everything was going outdoor concerts, especially the rock concerts, especially after that big one in the East Coast there. Oh man, it escapes my mind right now. But what in the long short story is there was a concert being held out in California, and several people got killed on accident or maybe in a fight, and security was involved. So all across the country, they banned outdoor festivals for rock and roll, especially. That was what their target was because it was getting out of control. They thought. I don't know what. It didn't bother me none. So Bill Monroe went up to Indiana and he bought a place up there in Nashville, Indiana called Bean Blossom. And he opened up the first outdoor bluegrass music festival. And you could camp there all week and play bluegrass. Well, of course, because all the rock and roll concerts are shut down, all the hippies, boom, piled right into the bluegrass festivals and just filled them up. And then they discovered, like anybody that listens to bluegrass music, it's a blast. You get to participate in it. You can sing along with it. It's fun. It doesn't discriminate. It's just beautiful stuff. So once people, it just exploded. And that was the big bluegrass industry explosion of the 60s. That was the first time it got popular from elsewhere besides hillbillies. It just exploded worldwide. And the fact that you could go to an outdoor festival, which wasn't allowed in most places, and nobody complained because bluegrass music isn't rowdy. There's nobody going to get in fights like normal rock concerts and stuff were. So that's where bluegrass got its big explosion, was from that California rock and roll concert that got people killed at it. I'm hearing the radio. Let me check my phone, see if somebody's out in my driveway. Bad neighborhood, you got to keep checking on this stuff. Turn around, turn around. Yep. I kid you not, man. These nurses came over to take care of my mom. They helped me take care of her. They pulled in the driveway one day, and I was telling her, I was like, you probably shouldn't drive a Porsche over here. And she just didn't understand. And so, like, she went and see my mom, came back out and was talking to me. And I was trying to explain to her that this neighborhood's not that safe, that, you need to watch what you're doing. And right in front of us, a dude pulls up in a car, waits halfway in my driveway, like between the two driveway spots, sitting there waiting. And me and the nurse both started looking at him. Here comes a guy on a motor scooter, pulls up, sells him drugs and stuff right in front of the nurse, and then they take off. And I looked at her, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Don't get out of your car around here, lady. Just, go back to your side of town. You'll be safer when when you come over. Don't stop around here because you drive a Porsche. They're going to steal your Porsche. Anyway, so that was a hard lesson for her, man. This used to be the beautiful spot in Louisville. Come on, heat. I want a steam bend. I'm tired of running my mouth over here. I'm running out of material. Yeah, damn it. Hey, that's great. I'll stick you back up here like that. I dropped it. It's almost ready. Going to stay and bend some circles. Yeah, Amish people got it made, man. They let you serve breakfast up here if you go up there. You're in Texas, man. You guys take the front of all that immigration stuff, man. I used to live in San Antonio, and then I lived in Shepherd Air Force Base. I can't think of where that's at, man. Texoma, and then I lived in Austin, Texas, at Bergstrom Air Force Base, man. I used to ride my motorcycle all over Austin, Texas. It's a cool place. First time I'd seen topless swimming pools, man. Are you in San Antonio? Do they still have topless swimming pools, man? Hey, Tom, what's up, man? Yeah, it sounds way better on the hat. Yeah, man, when I was in Austin in the 80s, I didn't know they had. I'm from Kentucky. Well, I didn't know there was topless swimming pools, but I think it was called Hot Springs was the first one I went to. And it wasn't a topless swimming pool. It was just like there was a no top wall. So females didn't have to wear a bikini top if they didn't want to. So it wasn't like a nudist camp or nothing. It was just kind of how Austin was back then in the 80s because of the heat. But I'm not used to that. I'm from Kentucky, man. All women wear tops unless you're like around relatives and they're, they're whatever relatives do. Uh, so I'm down there swimming in this pool, man, at this thing called Hot Springs. I think it was. It's a great big hot spring they dammed up. And, it's families, everything's around there. And I'm swimming. I was like, oh, she must have lost her top. And then I looked around. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is like a quarter of the pool topless. And I was like, oh, no. I had no idea. It was a pretty cool swimming pool, man. I think I visited that place quite often in my career when I was in there. But that's the most amazing thing was that Hot Springs was dammed up and it became a giant swimming pool. Concreted in. Very nice. I used to go to 6th Street. Is there still a 6th Street in Austin? I used to take my banjo. I had me an old Triumph motorcycle. Got out of a junkyard. I put my banjo in my duffel bag in my banjo case. I'd ride off base and I'd be wearing clothes like this so I didn't look fancy or nothing. And I'd go down to Austin 6th Street and there was a strip of bars, man. There must have been 100 bars in a row. And I would just open up my case and play right there on the street, and I'd make more money in one night than the Air Force paid me in a whole week to work on nuclear aircraft and stuff. I was like, damn. So I'd go back to the base with a case full of chains and stuff and buy everybody beer. It was pretty cool, man. But yeah, I loved Austin. The 6th Street was pretty awesome, man. And finally people got to know me enough to where the bar owners would pay me like 20 or 40 bucks just to stand outside the door and play with my case open. I could still keep all the tips. Yeah, I used to love it, man. The only thing that kind of scared me was my banjo stuck up about that much over my head in a duffel bag. And I'd be riding that motorcycle, and if you leaned up a little bit, the wind would catch it, So you had to hold on at 60 miles an hour because that thing would want to yank you right off that motorcycle, man. But yeah, I used to love playing music on the street down there and make that extra money. I tell you what we used to do. Uh, there was a lake up there called Lake Texoma, and I would get enough money to go to the place on our base where you could get a free tent, like you could get a 40-man tent left over from whatever World War II or something, and you could get it for free and take it going camping and then you bring it back. So my buddy had a Monte Carlo, and we took the whole trunk and lined it with plastic, filled it full of ice, and got as much hot beer as we could and stuffed that whole trunk full of ice. Got a 40-man tent, and I paid for all the beer from all the picking I did. And we went up to Lake Texoma and onto every state or every lake in the United States, government-funded lake, has a military campground. So you get to go there for free and camp out for free, recreational, like no military business. And so we went there and we set up on the shore, and dude, we had the best time. And that Monte Carlo held that ice in that trunk for, I don't know, 2 days before it all was gone. And I remember that because we were fishing too. We were actually sitting there fishing on the bank of Lake Texoma. What a giant lake that was, man. Yeah, that Monte Carlo, it was pretty cool. I'd never seen a trunk that big. Okay. We is at 200 degrees right now. Ouch, that thing's hotter than hell. Let's sit over here in case it leaks. Well, no, it leaks. Let's put it over here. Okay, so we're ready now, man. I done enough jibber jabber. All right. And let's go. So this is how we steam bin. We've been waiting. Oh, wait a minute. We can't. We got to wait 20 minutes. This got to cook for 20 minutes. I almost screwed up. I got to find something to do besides run my mouth here. So we got to wait 20 minutes. Monte Carlos, yeah. This was one of those 70 ones. Aerodynamic banjo bag business. I hear you, man. Yeah, Monte Carlo is one of them 70s ones. I think it was 70s. Had the 80s maybe. Had a big giant trunk. Had a big swoop metal, flat metal down the side. I hate steam bin. It takes so long. Yeah, Monte Carlos are awesome. I'll never forget that 40-man tent, though. We set that sucker up, man. It was huge. Big old canvas tent. You know, I never noticed. Is there any bluegrass in Texas? Down here in Texas? Cool. I've noticed a lot of taverns have dried up. Like there used to be a lot of taverns before COVID. Now it's like half the amount of music bars are out there. They're kind of rebuilding them. What time is it? It's only 2 o'clock. What if I got enough money for a pizza for my mom? My mom could only eat cheese pizza slices as far as pizza goes. My poor mom, man, she's been having it rough over there. She's got Alzheimer's, but she started eating again. She quit eating for a long time. Almost died. Let's see what else we got here. You know what? I think I'll make this. This is gonna be one of the fretboards, man. I think I'll use this as a fretboard too. As soon as it gets warm, a little bit warmer, we're gonna cut several instruments, guitar necks up here. We're gonna make at least 3 strats. 2 of them are going to a friend, and I'm keeping one of them. We're gonna make Fender Strat copies for ourselves. We're not selling them. And I like this one too. I think this will end up being a nice fretboard. We'll make this piece of cherry a fretboard. There's our 3 fretboards. And so we know what we're going to do next week. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe I'll give y'all a walk around here. Hope I didn't mess up that microphone. All right. Y'all still hear me? Yeah, we'll flip this around that way. Mm-hmm. All right, so here we go. Yeah, Alzheimer's sucks, man. So this is my shop. Yeah, that's why I run this shop, man. She sits right over in that window. As you can see her right now, she's walking around, and I watch her, and I go over a few minutes, check on her. Cook. I do all the cooking. This is my sander, man. I like this sander. That's what I make all the planks on. Yeah, Alzheimer's really sucks. It says it's mixed on. It says Supermax, I think. Yep, Supermax, 1938. And this thing's been, I've replaced that thing twice because I use the heck out of that thing. I mean, I destroy these things. I burn them suckers up. This thing's pretty cool. A little underpowered, but it's pretty cool. It's a 14-inch. One and a half horse. These things suck. The only thing sucks is this is supposed to come out of here. Like they make an extension for $60. I'm trying to raise enough money to get an extension. Anybody wants to donate, follow a link below. And by the way, most of this has been donated to us because they know I'm in a situation with my mom, and all the money goes to help my mom. But that thing should have a vacuum come right out of the top because the sawdust collects in there and binds up in the chain that turns these things around. And then it gets cockeyed because the sawdust will screw with it. So you gotta, if you want to operate one of these DeWalt's, what is this? I don't know what model this is, but if you want to operate this model here, you have to take these four screws out. I mean, these four. Every time you want to raise this up and down and vacuum all that out because it leaks sawdust somehow, and they're all like that. Everybody complains about them. Anyway, this is my chop saw. It's got its homemade vacuum system connected to it. I call it sawdust toilet. And now this is the bench. This is all the planks I'm getting ready to make rims out of. That's my next job next week. As soon as it gets warm enough, they got to be sanded. And back here are the A's, and these are the B's. Now, this is my wood roll around rack. Man, that thing comes in handy when I'm sorting things out. That's where the wood goes. This right here is old factory floor. This is that 400-year-old wood, probably older than that. Not this one. Oh yeah, that is one of them. Wait a minute. No, that's a B. My fault. That's not one of them. These are the ones. You can see how tight that grain is. Ancient wood, man. Very, very old. See how tight that grain is? Whereas regular wood, the grain is so wide, you can see like how wide the grain is here. Hey man, thanks. Any donations help, man. Greatly appreciate it. And also you can buy mugs and stuff from our Etsy account. We make a couple dollars, $2 or $3 off them. But this is what we call old factory floor. It's not for sale. And you can see the wood, it still has nail holes in it. This came from a building that was torn down in 1870. The building was torn down in 1870, so the trees are old, way older than that. I mean, you know, uh, just think that was involved in the Civil War. That wood right there, that came from Richmond, West Virginia. So this wood that we make these rims out of is was in the Civil War, actually there. The building was probably shot at. I found lead shot in some of this stuff. Really old lead shot. So that's factory floor. Those only go onto a banjo, and that's what those are. Those are old factory floor. They go onto a specific banjo called the Sullivan Vintage 35 banjo, built by the Sullivan Banjo Company. They don't go to anybody. Nobody can buy those. They only go on that kind of banjo. When I first started making them, I thought he was selling them, so I was telling people he was selling them, but he doesn't sell them. He keeps them all, makes a certain type of banjo with it that you can't get nowhere, and it's the best banjo in the world, man. So down here is some of my stockpile. Those are stickers. There's some other wood behind that ladder over there. So we go down here, trip over some wood. Okay, this is a steam machine. It's just a regular steam boiler. These are slats that we pull from when we're making rims. These are pre-cut and separated. There's my A's, my B's, and C's. We try to use heartwood on the B's as much as we can. These bottom racks are called reso walls. The reso walls are down there, but these are old factory floors here. I made that cart. That cart comes in so handy. Collects sawdust and stuff. These are regular rims. These are the soaking tubes that we soak. You don't want to see down there. That stuff's nasty. Um, this is the shop rack here. This is where we keep all our rims when we're not using them. This is our big CNC over here. Down there's all the wood we use for making rims and for reso walls. And I love this CNC. Let's take this thing out here, some light, and then back in here is the miniature CNC. This CNC cuts mother of pearl and really tiny objects that we need. These bits down here are 64th inch of an inch thick, man, or 0.5 millimeter. Where is the camera? Right. 0.5 of a millimeter. That's a tiny bit, man. And we got smaller bits than that. That's what that does. This is my favorite one, though. This thing's like the Terminator of CNCs. It'll cut through anything, man. So, yeah, that's the shop tour. I can't show you all those presses, man. My boss gets mad when I show anybody the presses. So, this is my bending cart. What time we got here? See, I got the thing. 12 minutes. We're almost ready. We've been at 15 minutes. That'll work. Get you guys turned around, and we're back. Yeah, today's just steam bending, man. Just steam bending. I guess we gotta cut that neck this week though. No school for woodworking? I bet you can find some college courses, man. My brother used to take college courses. Actually, man, this isn't really a woodworking shop. I mean, it is wood and everything. It's really a manufacturing facility. I don't really know how to make furniture, and stuff. But my brother went to school, like you're talking about, and community colleges and stuff. And man, he learned how to make everything, like furnitures and all that stuff. I mean, I guess this is a wood making shop. I consider it a circle making shop. I make circles. I have learned a lot about wood, though. I bet I could teach steam bending if somebody hired me in a college. It'd be cool. Go to a college and learn how to steam Steam bin from Professor Miller. That'd be funny. Actually, when I retire, man, I'm going to get me a trailer and just camp somewhere for a while. I've been experiencing this, taking care of my mom for so long. It's time to bend. I'm going to need a break. I'm going to videotape all that too, man. I mean, YouTube it. All right, so here we go. I think this is going to work. Hit the adjuster. Adjust it to the right, to the left. Whew, this stuff stinks. Now we are steam bending. Usually I'm singing and stuff, but I've been poked by so many doctors this week, I don't feel like singing right now. I mean, I'm happy I ain't like dying and stuff, but man, they just love to poke and take blood and pull things apart and squish this thing and touch that thing, and you're like, whew, is that really necessary? Alrighty then. I hate that I'm turning my back to you guys. I wonder if I could put you out there so you could see better. The very first steam bent. Let's see if I can move you guys over here, maybe. I still gotta plug you up, don't I? I don't know if I can move you all over there. I'll just try to stand over away so y'all can see a little bit there. A little better. I'll try to stand back up this way. So he's got holes in them so that they line up on these pegs. Holes on the pegs. We got holes on the pegs. Oh, that was going sideways. Holes on the peg, holes on the peg. We got holes on the peg. There we go. I can sing about my doctor experience. I got poked on and prodded. Temperature taken and given. No prescription needed. They just wanted to torture me. Ouch, my ears. Too bad. And pull it out. Come on. There's another one. Like how that gap up in there seals. That's a flap right there. Can't hardly see that flap, can you? Can from this side. Oh man, they poked me good today. See, I had cancer when I was a kid, and every now and then when something kind of acts up, they want to just test the hell out of me, and that's good. I'm glad they tested, but I'm glad they don't find nothing. They did cut something out from under my arm, but it was pretty painful. And they did say they don't think they got it all, but the next time it happens, they know exactly what to do, and they will finish the job if it ever happens again. I'm just glad it's not cancer again. It's just something that happens. Yeah, I've been homebound for a while. About 3 years, I couldn't go nowhere because my mom was having psychopathic episodes, man. And so it's good to be able to get out, even if I got to go to the doctor. It's good to go to the doctor. Yeah, the moderator for this chat room, Sheldon, donated this mic. Like I said, everything around here is about donated. The American Steam Machine, the tube was donated, the wood was donated, the mechanical transducer back here was donated. That's a 1920s transducer. 1930. Made in the USA transducer. Man, they made good stuff back then. I have this strange ability to see things like how to build this stuff. And when I see a part somebody's going to throw away, I'm like, can I have that? I sure could use that. That's a sewing machine motor up here, you know. It's like I Frankenstein it all together. I remember one time a guy was throwing away a pair of bearings, and they looked exactly like the kind of bearings in my head that you could make a t-shirt press out of. So instead of making a t-shirt press, I made a hat press, and I made a bunch of money off that stuff, man. But I like building machines, man. I tell you, it's fucking about it. Just cool. This whole shop's designed so that if a banjo playing never does take off, like another movie comes out, this shop could be run like a McDonald's. You can put 2 people in here and knock out 500 rims a week if you wanted. Probably 100 a week would be more realistic. But no, they'll never get that popular. All right. Now this side kind of needs a little tightening, but we'll do that when it starts to dry. Check my phone. See what's going on. Yeah, I first got my first CNC machine, not CNN, CNC machine. Man, my brain exploded with all kinds of things I could build. I If I just had the time to sit around and design machines, I would come up with some of the most incredible stuff. This system here is actually supposed to be designed with a half shell around it, so you don't even need these C clamps. I just haven't got. I mean, need the hand clamps. I just haven't got around to it. Yeah, it's kind of what happens, man. A movie comes out, a song, and the hillbilly culture takes prevalence for a while. Right now, though, this political climate probably ain't gonna let that happen until next year. Because all of us evil white people. Ooh, that's electricity beam. Gotta fix that. Yeah, thanks for that donation. That's awesome. Yeah, we're gonna get one. We're gonna get that little thing for that DeWalt, and we're gonna get that vacuum system fixed because everybody fixes them says they're really awesome machines. I shouldn't be doing that by hand. I just feel like doing stuff. Yeah. And another one. And another one. And another one. And another one. Pretty soon I'm gonna be wearing a button-up shirt. Everybody wants me to get fancier looking in all these films. Hey man, thanks a lot. Appreciate all the help. Make sure you subscribe and catch any shows you can. We post them later. You can watch them later. They're not live, but you can watch them on reruns. Thanks for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Do. Making circles all day. Making circles all the time. Making circles, don't you know? It'll make everything alright. A dooby 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 doo. Oh, that's hot. Scooby dooby dooby doo doo. Dooby dooby. Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You slipped just a little too far there, didn't you? All right, we'll get you going in. But you're going to have to go all the way around. Yeah, let's do it the rest of the way. I wonder what we're going to make for supper tonight, man. Might get one of those $6 pizzas from Bonnie and Clyde's Pizza, PRP. Those things are good. From one to the next, from the next to another. Yeah, and another successful build. I like bending rims. Make them all again. Making circles with my friends. I like bending these rims. Ooh, need this one right here. Don't you know? I sure do miss my Murphy dog. I wish that evil woman wouldn't have took him away. Evil woman takes my dog away. Make another one. Is somebody coming in the driveway? Yes, someone is in the driveway. As long as my mom don't come running out the door, I'll be okay. Shooby dooby doo. He's a resourceful little bambino. Oh no, a little too far. That's alright. That's alright. We'll get you in there. Yeah. I might play some 7 Days to Die tonight. That's a great little came from Steam. Team, y'all ever heard of that game? Let me know. We'll invite y'all in to play. It's a zombie game where you shoot up zombies. Very similar to The Walking Dead, I guess. Oh, catch my mom out here before she gets all the mail. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom. It's okay. I think he's already walked around, okay? I think he's already walked around. Yeah. Oh, he's over there now. Yeah. Yeah. My mom chases the mailman. So I have to go out there and catch him. That's pretty funny. She really likes the mailman. I'm not quite sure where that comes from. I think it might be because my dad used to be a mailman when I was a little kid. Maybe that's what it is. But you never know with Alzheimer's what any of that stuff is. Makes my nose itch. Real tears fall, darling, it's sad but true. The one thing I left for you was when I was a girl. Baby, remember, I hate you did. And another one. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Ooh, I'm going to bend you too. Another one bites the dust. All right, folks. That be the end of the steam bin. And I guess that's the end of the show. Because I've been poked and prodded and things all day. The doctor yesterday, today. Bill collector. How much bill do I owe? Just for taking care of my mom. Oh, it's a. We'll figure it out. All right, folks. Greatly appreciate everybody popping by and being part of the show. All the donations. Don't forget to go to the link below at the Etsy store. We're now selling hats. I haven't got one yet, but I'm going to buy one for the show. And I think everybody likes the new mic position. Thanks for all the likes. Man, don't forget to comment. Making comments in the regular under the description gets us higher ratings. Even if it's just asking me stupid questions, I'll answer it because it gets us up there in the ratings. So thank you guys very much, and we'll see y'all tomorrow on the Cosmic Woodshop show here. Good night.